Good evening guys, this is Sumaiya. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today in this video we are going to learn about uplights. So this video will be divided in the form of 3 or 4 sections. So the first part will be understanding what are uplights. Second part will be what are different types of facades in which we can use the uplights. Third part will be how we are going to do the same in Dialux. Fourth part will be, just seeing some project images for a better understanding. So let's get started. Starting with the first section of this video about what is an uplight. So uplighting is the placement of light fixtures on the floor or at the base of the architectural details and pointing them up. So this is called as uplighting. Uplights. In the uplights we have different types of optics, like we have narrow optics, we have spot optics, medium optics, flood and a wide flood. Even there is optics called blade. So we'll understand later about this optics when we are doing the Dialux part. But before that, let's understand what are the different types of facades we have in which we can use this uplighting. So coming to the first point, we have a solid facade. So basically a solid facade is a building which has a smooth surface, which doesn't have any projections or any exposed facade elements. So we can use uplights in these kind of facades. Second type of facade is a vertically divided facade. So let's see a reference image for the same. In this picture, if you see, the facade is divided vertically columns. Now we can highlight this facade element, the columns, with uplights. Third type of facade is a projected or recessed facade elements. So in this type, the elements of the facade may be recessed, vertically inside, or they may be exposed. So these are 3 different types of facades in which we can use uplights. Now coming to the third section of the tutorial, let's jump into the Dialux. So here I have constructed a small sample building, and it is more like a solid facade, but if you see it more clearly, it is also vertically divided by this windows. Now what we are going to do is we are going to place some uplights here in the bottom to highlight only this section of the building. So for that one, let's go and select some IS files. So in the linear light, we have professional lighting outdoor. Click on this one. Then we have uplights. Then here there are different types of uplights. You can easily filter it whatever you want. Now coming to my building, the building height is 3 meters. Okay, and since the building height is only 3 meters, I think we can use uplights with only less wattage, because the other point of considering the wattage of the uplights is that I don't want the light to cause light pollution. So light pollution is the other different topic which we'll be discussing in the other tutorial. But yes, in this project, since the height of the building is only 3 meters, we are going to select something between 1 or 2 wattage of the uplight. So I will select some in the range of 0 to 3 watts. Then coming to selection of the CCT for the facade, it is very important to understand the texture of the facade. Suppose your facade is something which has warm tones, like a brick, as in I have considered in this project, then you can go with the warm CCTs. And suppose your facade building has something with a white stone finish or some kind of cooler warm textures, then you can go with the cool white CCT. So since I have here a brick wall which is orangish in color, so I will choose something which is warmer. So CCT I would like is 3000 Kelvin. Optics. Coming to the optics selection, the very important thing is understanding your project. So here my understanding about this simple building is that if I'm placing an uplight here and grazing this wall with the uplight, then I should not, have light interference on my windows. Okay, that is my understanding about this project, and project to project it may differ. So depending upon the application, you have to select your optics. I think since I have, the distance between two windows is around 1 meters, I would go with something with maybe medium optics. So let's say it's flood here because there's no medium optics. And now, and as you see, my list has come down to only two modules. So let's go with this is 1 watts and this is maximum 1 to 2 watts. So let's go with something with 1 watts itself. So it is 92 lumens and here is 111 lumens. It is important thing to even consider the lumen. As I mentioned, facade lighting should be such that it should not add on to the light pollution. So this is of 92.58 lumens, and this is 1 watt with 92.58 lumens, and this is 1 watt with 34.67 lumens. This is 2 watts, and this is 1 watts, 2 watts. So I think with 1 watts and less lumens I have only this one. So I'll select this. Then so these are different things. So this is different with the terms of finish. So we'll go with something for now with nickel finish or a gray finish. And if you scroll down here, you have IES. So here you can click on this to download the IES. So my IES has been downloaded. Go to the lights, import luminaire file, import your file from the destination. Don't do any changes except for the height. I would like to reduce the height. Finish. Go to the plan view and draw the line arrangement. So the next important thing here is how much away from the wall should I place my uplights. So you can place your uplights from between around zero point 0.2 meters. Okay, so you can place your luminaires around zero point 0.2 meters away from your wall. So I'll start for the measurement, draw reference kit extended. So I'll change the dimension here to distance here to 0 0.2 meters. So now I know where to place my luminaires. I'll go back and select my fixtures. Oh, my grid lines are invisible now. So if you feel if this happens, you only need to go to the display option and show reference lines, and the reference lines will be visible again. Now I will just move this to this side. And how many fixtures do I require? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So I require a total of 8 number of fixtures. I'm going to select this one, or maybe this one itself, and adjust the luminaire such that they are properly at the center of the wall you want to highlight. Okay, now the next thing is, in this luminaire you can see the red line. So I want this red line to be facing on this side. For that one I'm going to select option of rotation. Now it is perfect. And as you see, my luminaires are up now. I will bring them down. And I also have to rotate it because the light is light should go up rather than down. So then bring it down. And adjust the positions. So finally we have placed our luminaires here of the grid lines. Save your file and run the calculation object, entire project. The calculation is completed and you can see the wall is properly grazed. Let's check the thermal view. So I have around 0.75 to 1 lux, that is from 30. So that is from 10 lux to around 1 lux I have on the wall. Now you can see there's some light which will be even interfering my windows. So this was the optics for I selected was flood. You can check the same results with the spot optics. So basically about selecting the optics is understanding of your facade. That's why we have Dialux, right? So you can cross check even with the spot optics. For now we can just ray trace this, save new view, and increase the quality of the picture and start ray tracing it. So this is a nice rendered image we have produced with the help of uplights of flood optics and 1 watts for a small solid facade. We'll save this one. So let's consider a second example of facade uplighting in the Dialux Evo. So I have here a building which is of totally 5 floors, and here I have some columns placed. So this facade is vertically divided facade, and I'm going to place some uplights here so that I can highlight this vertical facade elements of this building. For that, let's go and select some fixtures. So the general thumb rule I follow for selecting the wattage is, suppose the height of a facade element is around 3 meters, you can use a wattage between 2 watts. And if the height of the facade element is say 6 meters or something higher than that, you can go with 4 watts. So now here my each story is of its story is of 3 meters, so total height is 15 meters I have here. So for that one I will consider a wattage above 4 watts. Let's check the results key. If I use something above 4 watts, till where are my facade elements going to be highlighted? So back to the website, and we are going to select power between 4 watts, starting from the 4 watts. And color temperature will be 3000 Kelvin. Optics, I would prefer for this one, let's try with narrow spot first. Okay, so the filtered one is YOLO and Fasim. We'll go with this YOLO. And then here we have 8 watts, 8 watts, 4 watts and 8 watts. We will select something with 4 watts. So this is with 405 lumens, 405 narrow spot, steel finish. Let's select this one itself. Downloads photometric data, download the IES file. Go back to your Dialux, import luminaire file. So I have imported the luminaire file, and we are going to do the line arrangement. Of course, I have already drawn the grid lines of 0.2 meters. I'm going to place it my light fixtures over there. So total number is of fixtures required is 8. Then adjust the position. Before, check if they are facing downwards or upwards. They are downwards, we'll make it upwards. Back to the plan view. Now you can set their positions properly right in front, in the center of the facade element. If you find it difficult to place the luminaires in the exact midpoint of the facade element, make sure you do it in the AutoCAD first, then you can place the luminaires in the Dialux. So I'll bring this down. Check the rotation of the luminaires. Perfect. Go back to the Dialux, calculation objects, and run entire project. Yes, the calculation is completed. So it is raising my facade elements very nicely. Let's check the thermal view. So yes, the light is reaching to the top level of the building. I have to the top around 0.5 to 0.3 lux. I think this is good for this. Let's go and render this view. Maybe this is an interesting view, isn't it? Go to the ray tracer, increase the resolution, and start ray tracing it. So this is a rendered image. Oh, that's perfect. Close, save image, and render 2. So we have got two different renders. One with the solid facade, another with the vertically divided facade. Hope you have an idea now about how to place luminaires in the Dialux and see the calculation results. You can check in the Lux Levels by just placing your mouse cursor over this one. Like you can go to the export or calculation objects and results on surface. Click here and you can see the Lux Levels. You want false colors and here you have false colors. So this is how you interpret your results of the Dialux. So this was about placement of uplights for the solid facade and the vertically divided facade. We have choose two different fixtures for this application depending upon the heights of the facade, and we also decided different optics. Also saw about selection of the CCD for the luminaires. Now let's go and check some amazing projects which are found on the Ecoscene websites, and if you want to study more about the facade projects, you can go to the Ecoscene website. I'll just show you how you can do a self-study for the projects. Go here and you have project gallery, and there are so many projects here of the facade which you can use for reference of the case study. So another very interesting thing here is go to the product and select outdoor lighting. In the outdoor lighting, for if you're not aware, light up is the uplight we have in the Ecoscene. I'll select light up, and here are the different facade projects in which uplight is used. Now we'll just select the any random project, maybe this one, and try to analyze where they have used uplights, why they have used uplights. So this is a very beautiful project. So as you can see, this is a light up they have used, and can you guess where the uplight is placed in this project? If you could If you face it difficult to analyze where the light fixtures are placed in the facade project, you have to always see where the light is intense and where there is a formation of shadows. Now if I see this image, I can make out that the light is intense at this ends and here. The light is intense even here, and overall then it is grazing. So if you observe more closely, there are some light fixtures placed here, but this light fixtures are applied. You can see the image here. So this is the light fixture which have been placed here. But for the uplight, this is probably the uplight because it is placed in the basement of the architectural element to be highlighted. This is placed here, and you are trying to highlight this pattern. So even if the floodlight is off, I'm sure that this uplight will make some nice grazing effect on this facade element, but this is very wisely used. Now let's go check out some other project. Maybe we can see about this project. Open link in the new tab. And coming to this project, oh, so this is an example of a solid facade where we don't have the projected facade elements outwards or nor the raised facade elements. It's a solid facade. And the second thing here is the light fixtures are placed here, uplighting, with which are I think of medium optics to make this pattern or graze this wall. And if you observe more, the CCT here, it seems like maybe it's around 4000 Kelvin because the material of the building is grayish, so they have chosen 4000 Kelvin, and it's doing a great job here. So maybe let's check out another project. Let's load more projects. And here is another example of a vertically divided facade where you can see only the pillars of the facade building, wherein the pillars of the building are highlighted. So the uplight is placed here and the pillars have been highlighted. Yeah, this is a vertically divided facade. Maybe they have used something with the narrow optics here to, maybe this distance is around 0.5 or less than that, and a very narrow spot raising this wall. So I think we have seen a quite interesting project images to understand the real application of the uplights. And we have completed all the sections of the uplights. If you have still more doubts regarding the uplights, yes, there are few more considerations for the uplights, like we have to think even about the light pollution. But so as I mentioned, we are going to discuss separately about the lighting pollution in the coming videos, but for this one, this is it. So guys, if you found this video helpful, please hit a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned to explore more in Dialux with me. Thank you.